This movie is ridiculous, it's unbelievable, it's stupid at times, and I kind of really enjoyed it. Trap is the new M Night Shyamalan thriller centered around a father who takes his daughter to a concert. He's there, he notices that there's cops everywhere, and when he asks the t-shirt vendor what's going on, he learns that it's all a trap to capture an infamous serial killer known as the Butcher. And surprisingly, Josh Hartnett's character is the Butcher. So we watch as he tries to evade the police and figure out how to get out of this concert hall. I'm a huge Josh Hartnett fan, so I knew going into this I was gonna like it no matter what, solely for Josh Hartnett, because he's incredible and he's incredible in this. I'm so excited that he is back in a headlining role, and he really shines here. He really is the saving grace of this movie. He carries it the whole way through, and he's just so fun to watch. The story, the setup, it's all unbelievable. It's a cool idea, but when you sit back and think about it, why would police set this whole thing up at a concert that is filled with families and children, people that could easily get hurt in the crosshairs of this serial killer trying to evade the police? And they also include a bunch of people in the concert, like normal people, the t-shirt vendor who obviously slips up the information to the killer. Like, why would the police and FBI include normal people on this scenario? It doesn't make sense. But you have to go into this movie suspending your disbelief, and if you do that, I think you'll have fun with it. First hour of this movie is so fun to watch because we get to see really Josh Hartnett showcase his talents. Watching him just balance this two different sides of himself, this lovable, goofy dad with a sinister serial killer with the dark side, was really fun, and he did a really fantastic job with this. The movie isn't really filled with a lot of tension or suspense because it's just kind of ridiculous. There's moments where his character navigates through this concert hall so easily, and I honestly think that these are the stupidest cops known to man, because the security, which is supposed to be top-notch, is terrible, because Josh Hartnett's character is able to go from floor to floor. He's able to get into back rooms and literally be surrounded by SWAT teams who should be aware of his presence. There's moments where he's literally just standing there in the middle of a room that is filled with police, and he's just watching and listening suspiciously, and they don't even notice him. It's just like, he's supposed to be evading the police and he's supposed to be blending in, but he is making it so obvious that there's something going on with him. Like, he is very suspicious. There's also weird dialogue throughout where he's interacting with people, and it just doesn't feel natural. And especially with his character, the things he's saying, he's asking specifically about the Butcher and the profiler who is on the case, and it's just like, if a normal person was asking these questions, you'd be like, why are you so interested in this? It's just, it feels like he is very suspicious, and what he's saying and his actions towards everyone makes it so obvious, but they don't see it. His daughter does notice that her father is acting strange, and she asks him several times throughout the movie, are you okay? What's going on? And he's like, no. Like, there's one point where the floor opens up and a singer comes out, and he's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we go down there and check it out and see what's under the stage? And she's like, what? There's moments like that throughout the whole movie. With that being said, Josh Hartnett is just so fun that I was like, whatever, I'm here for the ride. I will put all of these things to the side because I'm just loving him, watching him, and I really wanted to see him really be the Butcher and really take out his sinister side, and we do get to see a little of that. The last act of this movie is where the movie really goes off the rails, and we pull in the Lady Raven character, and she becomes a much bigger focus, and that's what I think hurts this film a lot. It becomes even more unbelievable. The entire time you're watching this movie, it really does feel like an advertisement for M Night Shyamalan's daughter Salika, who is playing Lady Raven, and her music. Her music is actually really good and catchy, and she's a phenomenal singer and performer, and I was like, okay, I get this. This is really cool that he's doing this, but he focuses a lot of time on her in the third act where she inserts herself into the situation more, and we get a lot more of her acting, which isn't truly believable, and it just kind of feels ridiculous that they would include her in on the plan to catch the serial killer. With that being said, in the third act, Josh Hartnett is also just even better. Like, he really shows his emotional range in this third act where he's interacting with his family and we really get to see his dad's side mixed with the sinister side. He's just so creepy but also charming. The movie does drag on way too long. I had to pee so bad at the end of this movie and I was like, okay, here, we're gearing up, this is the end, I'm gonna be able to go pee, and it just kept going and it kept going, and it was like a 30 extra minutes where I was like, this movie could have literally ended 5 fucking times by now. Why isn't it over? And by the end of it I was like, I'm over it. It's just kept getting more and more ridiculous. I did have issues with this movie, but I think that it was a decent 3 stars out of 5-star watch for me because of Josh Hartnett. If you look at this as like a campy B movie that doesn't really make a lot of sense and it's more about ridiculous, over-the-top entertainment, I think you'll have fun with it. But if you can't do that, if you're someone who needs everything to make sense, you won't like this movie. I'm telling you right now, just don't even bother seeing it because it's just ridiculous. It's stupid. It's stupid, but it's fun. It's stupid fun. There's a part in the third act where Josh Hartnett's character takes his shirt off, and I literally don't know why he takes his shirt off. Like, there's no reason for it. He just takes it off. And I'm not complaining. It was nice to see, but I was just like, what the? Why is his shirt off though? Okay, so now from this point on, I feel like I need to talk spoilers. So leave right now if you don't want to be spoiled. So once the concert is over, Josh Hartnett's character has to figure out how he's going to get out of this arena without being spotted by the police. Even though he has inserted himself into multiple situations and scenarios that he has been literally face to face with police, he's like, nope, I can't talk to these police. They're gonna catch me somehow. And even though they haven't yet because they are so stupid, he confronts Lady Raven in her dressing room. He's just easily able to get her alone in the room without security and tell her that he is the butcher and he needs her to help him get out of this arena. And he shows her the victim he has in his house with his little app that he has. By the way, that app, he goes into the bathroom and is watching this person scream for help on the app, and it's just loudly playing in the bathroom. And I know like bathrooms in a concert are probably loud, but really still, anybody could hear that, Josh. But anyway, so Lady Raven's like, oh shit, I guess I'll let him in my limo. So this is where the movie suffers greatly for me because I'm like, how is he gonna get out of this situation? She's going to know who he is. So when they're in the limo, Lady Raven is like, oh, whatever the daughter's name is, can I come to your house? And she's like, yeah, oh my God. And Josh Hartnett is like pissed. And he's like, yeah, whatever, let's go. And so we get to Josh Hartnett's house, which was kind of cool. I was ready for some exciting stuff to happen. We get to see his family and how they interact. And I'm telling you, I was expecting the whole time that his family, or at least his wife, were going to be aware of who he was, and they maybe possibly were also helping him in some way. I thought there's got to be something more here, but there wasn't. There is no twist in this movie. It's straightforward. Josh Hartnett is a serial killer. He needs to get away from the police. That's it. When they're in the house, they're talking, and Lady Raven is telling the mother about the profile of the killer, and she knows all the characteristics of the killer, what his relationship was like with his mother, and it's just ridiculous. It's like, okay, why does she know all that? Like, I know that they probably told her for some reason. She's a pop star. Why are they including her on this? It doesn't matter. And then she's like, can I play a song before I leave? And she plays the piano, and she has the daughter with her, and she somehow gets Josh Hartnett's phone away, and she runs into the bathroom. And she's talking and communicating with this guy through the app. Instead of just fucking calling the police, she gets on Instagram and does a live. And she asks her friends, her fans, to help her find out this guy's location based on like 2 things that he told her. He said there was a broken lion statue and a blue door, and they're able to find him. Okay, sure. And then she's like, call the police, finally. And Josh Hartnett is literally just standing there knocking on the door nicely, trying to get her to come out. But I think he's trying to balance still being the good father with the killer because the family doesn't know he's the butcher yet. He finally gets out, he takes her, and he's gonna go take her away to kill her, or whatever it is he's doing. And Then when they're in the car, Lady Raven starts acting like the Cooper character's mother, who was aware of her son being something different off about him, and she abused him a lot, or punished him a lot in his childhood. So she starts speaking to him like his mother, and I'm just like, what? That was stupid. That was stupid, and she's not a good actress. She's sweet, she's a good singer, but she's not a good actress. So when that part happened, I was just like, okay. And Josh Hartnett, you get a little bit of like who he is and what his life was like growing up with his mother. He's always been a bad person. He's always had this monster inside him that he can't shut off. Cool. Great. He sees his family when he opens the garage door to leave, and he lets Lady Raven get away, and he goes back into his house, and you're thinking, okay, great. They're gonna catch him. He's gonna like off himself in some way or something in this house, or the police are just gonna take him down. But they get inside, and he has somehow escaped because he has a tunnel that goes from his closet through his backyard into his neighbor's house. And then he easily gets into Lady Raven's limo. Even though there's literally a serial killer, she was just in a very stressful situation, high stakes scenario with a serial killer, but her cab driver, her limo driver just easily gets out and he's like, sure pal, get in the car, take her away, sure thing. And he gets in the car and he drives her away and he handcuffs her, and then he pulls into a car full of people on a busy street, and they're like, oh my god, is that Lady Raven? And she gets out, and the police surround the limo, but Josh Hartnett's character is able to get out of the limo, completely change his clothes, and stand in with the crowd, and no one in the crowd says anything. They don't notice him get out, and the police just shoot into this limo that is surrounded by civilians. They don't care. And yeah, Josh Hartnett gets away again. He shows back up at his house. I was like, oh my god, please, let me have something where they were like, it felt like they were building it up. His wife was gonna turn around and be like, you gotta be more careful than that, or something. Like, I was expecting her to be like, dude, what the fuck? What are you doing? And she doesn't. It turns out that she was the one who planted the idea that the butcher was going to be at the Lady Raven concert, because she started investigating her husband, wondering why he was spending late nights out. He wasn't coming home at a decent hour. There was something weird. She thought he was cheating on her. So she dug into his stuff and she started to realize something was off, and she found one of his little safe houses that he uses to store his victims, and she figured that he was the butcher. And she gives an anonymous tip and gives a torn receipt to the Lady Raven concert. And Josh Hartnett's character's pissed because he's like, what the fuck, man? Like, now I'm gonna have to go to jail. I'm not gonna be able to see my kids grow up, and I'm very angry about that. And the scene is so good between them. The tension is so good in this moment, and you can really see Josh Hartnett's character be fully like angry and emotional about having his fatherhood stripped away from him because of his wife, and he's like struggling with stuff internally there. And the wife she has a little meal for him, and he takes it and eats it, and oh surprise, it's poisoned, or it's filled with stuff that will make him fall asleep. Because duh, Josh Hartnett's character, why is he so fucking dumb in these situations? He has been so sly and slick and smart, but for some reason he becomes really dumb towards the third act, where he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. And then the police come in and they shoot him with tasers, and he does not go down. And in those moments I was like, oh my god, is he gonna be a superhero? Is he gonna have is he an actual monster? Is he gonna transform right now? I was so excited. I thought there was gonna be a twist, because he was not going down, and he's like killing SWAT team, like digging his thumbs into their eyes, and they don't shoot him, they just use tasers, which is also unbelievable. They would shoot him, but I'm just like waiting for it. I was like, please transform into a monster. He doesn't transform into a monster. He's just a normal guy. He's just a serial killer. And as they're taking him out, they let him pick up a bike. They let him freely pick up this bike, and he's able to get a spoke from the bike to use later. And he also is able to hug his daughter. Like, there's so many things that they let him do before he gets into the police car that are so unbelievable. But to that point, the whole movie's so unfucking believable. I was just like, okay, yeah, sure. Tack it on, I don't care. Just whatever. I have to pee, please. Let's go. And then he's in the car and he's able to get out. And honestly, I fucking love the ending because Josh Hartnett is just so fucking good. And he's like maniacally laughing and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like none of this was meant to be serious, right? Like that's what I got from that ending. Like this is supposed to be unbelievable and ridiculous, and he's just gonna keep going and doing his thing, and I'm okay with that. And then we get a mid-credits scene where the t-shirt vendor who helped him and had really just unnatural dialogue with him earlier in the film, he's like, you're a really good dad, I can tell you're good people, just because Josh Hartnett's character was like, hey, let that girl get the shirt you wanted, she really wanted it. And the t-shirt guy was like, you're a really good man. I can tell. And he like brings him down in the stock room alone to get a t-shirt, which I would not. Where are the police? Okay, where are the police? But anyway, he's like, oh my god, I was talking to him. That was like, I'm never talking to anybody at work again. And it was funny. It was good. It was cute. And yeah, that's it. That's the movie. And you know what? It's ridiculous. And it might sound like I didn't like it, but I did like it. I just wanted to like it more. It was a little disappointing because I wish it would have been more hardcore horror thriller. It's almost like a comedy if you watch it the way that I watched it. It's ridiculous. And I don't know. I don't know what M Night Shyamalan's doing. He literally said this movie was made so he could showcase his daughter's career. Mission accomplished, because now I know who she is, now I know her music. Her music's good, but I don't want her as an actress. And I get it. I don't know. It's about fatherhood, being a girl dad, balancing multiple parts of your life. I don't know. It was just fun. It was silly good fun. Go into this knowing it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be over the top. It's not going to have a twist. It's a very straightforward movie. And expect an incredible performance by Josh Hartnett and you'll enjoy it. I think I'm going to rewatch it solely for Josh Hartnett. He's amazing. He's amazing. I fucking love him in this. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Trap. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I know it's going to be divisive. I think people are either going to love this movie or they're absolutely going to hate it because it's ridiculous. I know it is. I know, and I truly understand all your faults and issues with this movie. I just don't care. Like, personally for me, I didn't care enough to hate the movie that much. Where I was just like, okay, whatever. We're doing this. I'm drinking my Olipop. I'm eating my goldfish. I'm sitting back and I'm enjoying my boy, Josh Hartnett. Have a damn good time. You could enjoy it too, you know? You could enjoy it too. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.